He murdered 11 people, but what he kept after each kill was far worse than the act itself. In a hidden drawer in his apartment, police found evidence of an obsession so disturbing it still haunts investigators to this day. Proof that for him, killing wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. In the early hours of July 22, 1991, police officers were flagged down on the streets of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A young man stood before them, naked, disoriented, and handcuffed. He was bleeding, terrified, and begging for help. The man beside him claimed everything was a misunderstanding, that he was a lover, that nothing was wrong. The officers followed that man back to his apartment. They would later describe it as the worst crime scene of their careers. Inside the small, poorly lit apartment, the air was heavy with a sickening smell. At first, it seemed like neglect. Dirty dishes, unwashed clothes, clutter everywhere. But then they opened the refrigerator. Inside were human remains, a human head, body parts wrapped in plastic. Photographs scattered across the room showed dismembered bodies posed like trophies. The apartment belonged to Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer was born in 1960, and by all outward appearances, lived an unremarkable life. Quiet, awkward, easily overlooked. But beneath that silence was something deeply wrong. As a teenager, he developed an obsession with death, anatomy, and control. He dissected dead animals. He drank heavily. He felt isolated, and he grew fixated on the idea of possessing another human being completely. Between 1978 and 1991, Dahmer murdered at least 17 young men and boys. He met them at bars, malls, and bus stops. He offered money for photos or companionship. Once inside his apartment, he drugged them, assaulted them, and killed them. But what set Dahmer apart from many other serial killers was what he did afterward. He kept parts of his victims. Investigators found skulls, preserved organs, and containers filled with chemicals used to slow decomposition. Dahmer admitted he kept heads and body parts because he couldn't stand the idea of being alone. He wanted to feel that his victims were still with him, that they hadn't truly left. And more than anything else, he fixated on their faces, their eyes. He later explained that eyes represented life, awareness, presence. To him, they were the last parts of a person that still felt alive. He photographed his victims' faces obsessively, studied them, and preserved heads so he could look at them long after death. Dahmer didn't want to remember his victims. He wanted to own them. He even attempted to create what he called living zombies. He drilled holes into victims' skulls and injected chemicals into their brains, hoping to destroy their free will while keeping them alive. He wanted someone who could not leave him, someone who would stay forever. Several victims nearly escaped. One did, but was tragically returned to Dahmer by police after officers mistook the situation for a domestic dispute. That mistake cost lives. Neighbors complained for months about screams and foul odors. Nothing was done. When Dahmer was finally arrested, the full scale of his crimes slowly emerged. He calmly confessed, providing detailed descriptions that shocked even hardened detectives. There was no attempt to deny what he'd done. No remorse, only explanation. He said he didn't kill out of anger or hatred. He killed out of fear of abandonment. In 1992, Jeffrey Dahmer was convicted and sentenced to 15 consecutive life terms in prison. 2 years later, he was beaten to death by another inmate. The man who spent his life trying to prevent people from leaving him died alone on a prison floor. Today, Dahmer's name is synonymous with horror, but his case raises questions that still linger. How many chances were missed to stop him earlier? How many lives could have been saved? And how many people like him are hiding behind ordinary faces, quiet, unnoticed, and watching? Because some killers don't just take lives, they try to keep them. What do you think? Was Jeffrey Dahmer fully aware of the evil he committed? Or was he a man consumed by a sickness he could no longer control? Share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more true crime stories that reveal the darkest corners of the human mind.